Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is The Mad Knives, a 5-album, 5-movie sci-fi concept project. And today we're doing a weekly journal entry, TMK 004. Let's talk about where things are at. We are in album and movie 1 out of 5, about halfway through it if I had to guess. It's fully written and demoed, thank goodness, and we are looking for singers. We're going to keep looking for singers until we find them. All right, show the logo, play the music. So let's talk about what happened over the last week. I just finished doing a deep dive video on the spaceship, the radio flyer. This is, I think, my favorite deep dive video so far. I really like talking about the radio flyer. So please go watch that. It's out now. Deep dive about the Mad Knives spaceship, the radio flyer. The next thing that happened is I talked to my buddy Paul and got some cool feedback from him. Paul is one of my good old friends from music school, and he listened to the album a couple times, which I really have to thank him for, and had some really, really good production ideas. I'm not going to go into all of them right now, but we also have been trying to talk about what genre this might be. And he was kind of stumped the way that I have been and everybody else has been. He did make one mention, though, that was very flattering, so I have to share it. He mentioned that to him it sounded like Zappa, but I have to make a note right away. It sounded like Zappa, however, not like that. I don't really know what I mean by that, but that feels like the right thing to say because nothing about me is as virtuosic as Zappa. But I think what he was getting at was that there are odd time signatures. I'm not going to talk too much about odd time signatures. I've been on purpose not talking about it. But there is a theme to this whole project around the number 5, and that 5 in music terms is quintuplets, and there are quintuplets. I'm kind of sneaking them in there because I'm trying to get away with it. So when I was a kid, my mom used to shred up zucchini and put it in the meatloaf so that we would eat some vegetables. I'm kind of doing that, but trying not to talk about it too much. And then the last thing that happened last week is much more outreach, and this is actually going really well. So I want to talk about some numbers and brag about my efforts. I sent messages to 18 more singers on Instagram, and I'm improving the ratio a little bit, 15 female singers and 3 male singers. And 3 of those messages were actually duet pairs of singers that I found on Instagram. So an account that is 2 people that are singing as a duet. So there's a lot more messages out there. Something really interesting happened yesterday. The very first singer that I actually got a response from messaged me again and is interested in maybe moving forward. So I need to respond to them and figure out what to do next. Like, I think I want to send a couple of small clips with a little bit of production direction and see if he's willing to sing those, and then we can both decide if it's a good fit. But I have to figure that out because it's actually working well. And then in efforts to send messages to music schools, I sent some messages to people at MTSU, both vocal professors and career development folks. That's a college in the Nashville area. And also as sort of a long shot, I decided that I might as well also be messaging people or institutions that I think wouldn't respond because they're too cool for me. So I messaged Berkeley School of Music and amazingly got a response from them like 3 hours later. So we've been back and forth once or twice, and I'm hoping that they will share the project with the students there. We'll see. So really strong outreach this week, and it's starting to work and bring about sort of new things to work on. Like now that somebody is interested in maybe singing on it, I got to figure out how to walk down that road. Like, are we doing strict auditions or are we just feeling it out? So we'll talk about it more next week. All right. On to what has become my favorite section of the weekly journal entry, feelings. How do I feel about any of this? So good stuff is happening overall. I feel like I'm starting to get in the groove, and I'm starting to balance my own internal expectations, which is tough to do because you release something on the internet and then you want to see a lot of views and shares and likes. But I'm inching ever closer to posting and ghosting, where I'm just putting it out there and not paying too much attention to the reception it's getting. So it's getting easier from that direction, but I also have found myself getting more impatient. So the first thing is finding a groove, which is good. But the second thing is that I'm getting impatient. And I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be getting impatient, but I've always been impatient. I just want to go. I want the album to be done. I want to start working on the movie. I want to hear and see what this all is like in a finished product. So I'm getting impatient, which is totally irrational and not reasonable at all. But along with that impatience is that I'm also getting more comfortable. So this is a real roller coaster of a feelings section. I'm getting more comfortable actually making this stuff, like just talking to the camera and explaining my ideas and seeing my own face on the screen as I'm editing all these videos and stuff. I'm getting more comfortable and a little bit less nervous on camera, which I'm hoping will just continue to improve and make these all better and better. The next feeling I'm having is really funny. These are funny to me for some reason. It's getting easier to do outreach, but not because I'm getting better at it. It's getting easier to do outreach because I'm starting to notice that mostly nobody responds anyway. So at first, outreach is hard because it feels like cold calling and you're just sending messages out into the ether and you're wondering how they'll be received and if everybody is going to be like annoyed, because sometimes who wants to get a message from a stranger? But as a couple of weeks have gone by and I've realized that people don't respond to them and they might not even see them. Might go to, if I'm sending emails, they might go to spam folders. If I'm sending direct messages, it might be to a person who has 1,000 unread direct messages. So outreach has become a lot easier because now I just kind of don't think anybody's going to see it. So what do I have to be nervous about? You just send them, blast them out. And then another feeling that I had is as the project moves forward, it just kind of opens to new work that needs to be done. And it occurred to me this week that I'm going to have to probably get in touch with an entertainment attorney at some point. Because when I find the singers I want, we're going to have to enter into some kind of a professional business relationship together. And I'm going to need to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about to figure out exactly how to do that. So as things get done, new things happen that need to be done, and then you have feelings about the new things. So that's it for the feelings section. I still kind of love it. What's next? Continued outreach to singers because it's improving, but we still need to find singers. So what's next is going to look the same until we find them. If you are a singer, I'm looking for singers for this project. Please reach out. You can get at me on the website at themadknives.com or on Instagram at themadknives, or you can comment or message here on YouTube. Find a way to get in touch if you're a singer. Please, I would love to have you on board. The deep dive for next week is something I'm really excited about that we haven't talked about yet. Oh, I can't spell. Dancing. We haven't talked about this at all, but there is dancing in this project, the Mad Knives Dance. The next deep dive video is going to be all about dancing, and I'm really excited to talk about it. Okay, looking at my wrap-up notes here, and what I'm supposed to do now is ask you to like and share and subscribe. I don't know if it matters. What I would really like, if you're going to do anything as a valued viewer and listener of the Mad Knives Project, Please share it. If you have friends who are the types of collaborators that we're going to need, please share this project with them. So maybe you're not a singer, maybe you know some singers. Please share it with them. Maybe you're not a visual artist, but you know some visual artists, and you think they're good, and maybe they don't advocate for themselves all the time. Send this to them. Like I said, the list is long of collaborators, but right now, singers. 2 male singers, 2 female singers. We need visual artists for storyboarding these videos and eventually animators. In the long run, we're going to need mix engineers, people like that to work on the production. In the near run, I'm going to need entertainment attorneys of some sort. So if you know anybody who does that and you think that they would be willing to get involved with this. So subscribe if you want to. I don't know if it matters. Like if you want to. I don't know if it matters. Share it. If you know anybody who might work with this, share it. Let's do the handles again so you know where to find me. The website, themadknives.com. It's actually a really cool website. There's all kinds of stuff on it. There are things that I haven't even talked about on this channel yet on the website. Further views into the story, the lyrics, everything like that. You can find me on Instagram at themadknives. And like I said, also please DM me here on YouTube. I think that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.